Celean, thanks for having us here. Approaching end of 2023, was it a good year in replacing animal testing?
Well, I think there's been lots of positive progress this year. We've seen commitments from the EU to a roadmap to phase out animal testing. In Europe, we've seen advances in the US with changes under the FDA Modernization Act to allow more use of non-animal data. So there's really strong progress. And of course, the science of new approach methodologies or non-animal methods, as they're sometimes called, is advancing all the time. But that being said, there is an awful lot still to do. And certainly in terms of our understanding of disease mechanism research that happens particularly in universities, there are substantial barriers still to overcome to really move beyond in vivo work.
So 2023, a year of progress. You mentioned a lot of things going on, the FDA Modernization Act, the EU progressing. They heard the message. If there's one highlight that you would emphasize, what would that be?
I think for my highlight personally has been that the debate and discussion around the use of animals in both research and testing seems to be much more open and much more constructive than it perhaps has been in the past. And certainly at Frame, we strongly believe that this is a change that can only happen with different stakeholder communities working together. So I think the sometimes antagonistic and confrontational kind of dialogue that we've seen in the past has not been helpful. And this year I've definitely felt in the forums and spaces that we've attended and spoken at that there seems to be a real change and a much broader working together. So not a very specific highlight, Dennis, I'm sorry, but that is my highlight.
But there are many, because Frame established since over 5 decades ago.
Absolutely.
What was the impulse actually organizing around this strong purpose, and what is Frame's mission as of today?
So Frame's mission today is to support scientists to use non-animal methods. We, as you say, yes, were founded in 1969, so coming up for 55 years ago. And we were founded by a lady called Dorothy Hegarty, who felt at the time that a lot of the anti-vivisection organisations that were around were exactly that, were not being constructive and therefore not being effective in creating change. And she felt very strongly that there needed to be work with scientists to replace the use of animals and work within those structures of academia and scientific practice, rather than people talking from outside at scientists. And so Frame was founded very much with that ethos, and that is absolutely the ethos that we still have today.
Impressive. And who in particular calls Frame for support? What are the things that you are most proud of? So what is it that partners, service companies, pharmaceutical industry values about working with Frame, but also employees working in the organization?